let's just get started. That way, we'll be finished. The sooner we start, the quicker we finish. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Luis Gomez Himbert. I just put my little thing in there. I'm with the school music. I'm a musician. I'm a music man, not a music teacher. A big difference, because all I do is music. All my friends are musicians, artists. A very different person than most of you. You guys are great at what you do, but your life is totally different. When you guys work, we rest. When you have fun, and we work. Weekends, that's when we play concerts. I just played a concert last night at the Broward Center of the Performing Arts. And tomorrow, we're doing a great performance with the music of Russian composers and European composers up in Broward. Good afternoon and welcome. Come on in and get to sit close. Don't just get a little closer. We're just gonna have a nice, fun game today. Something short, quick, to the point. I believe the lecture of today was called "What Did You Know About Music?" or "Do You Think You Know a Lot About Music?" And this is a class that I teach here at FIU that is quite popular. It's music appreciation. I usually call it music depreciation. But it's a great class that teaches you the nuances of music. People think that they know a lot about music, but then sometimes say, wow, I did not know that. Some of my students say, oh, Mr. Gomez, I didn't know that so much goes into music. And sure enough, a lot of stuff goes into music. What you guys listen to all the time, that's a different type of music. That's a different reaction when you listen to something. Oh, I like it. The question is, and I usually ask this to my students, good, so you like this type of music, but why? I don't know. I like it. It's all good to me. Yeah, but why? I don't know. And so the class actually teaches the student, music appreciation class, teaches the student why the elements that go into making music. And I selected one little clip here that I want to share with you. And of course, I asked 4 volunteers to serve as judges because we're going to listen to a musical clip. But I also want you to be judges. That doesn't mean that you don't have the right to talk. You could actually all of a sudden say, well, I have something to say. And that would be fantastic. If we can have sort of like an interaction with the stuff that I'm going to show you, which probably you might want to say something about. A little bit more about me. I'm a symphony player, graduated from Northwestern University ages ago, before anybody here in the hall was even born. And so came down to Miami ages ago too, and seen this university grow. This is a great place to work, great place to study. Those of you who are considering coming to FIU, I love this place. I never thought, honestly, and this is my opinion, well, if you really wanted to study something, you have to go up north. Well, been working here for so many years now, and I find that this is a great place to learn. Great camaraderie with my colleagues. The students are fantastic. I teach generally throughout the year. I cater to about more than 1,000 students. That I usually, the rewarding thing about teaching this class is that I get to see my students all over, everywhere I go. Sometimes I'll be going to Miami Beach and sit there, and then somebody goes by, Mr. Gomez took a class with you. Or perhaps I go to Best Buy and buy something, and they have 2, 3, 4 students. Hey, Mr. Gomez, I took a class with you. They give me a discount. So this is actually very good. Good. So today, I wanted to present you with a clip of somebody that won this competition. And I believe the competition, it's called Britain Got Talent. And some of you are familiar. This shows are quite familiar now, with reality TV and all that stuff. And I'm not going to tell you anything. And of course, I have selected my judges because they are going to have an opinion about what they see. And let's establish the criteria, which is actually going to be the same for all of you. If we have to judge a musical competition, there's certain things that we need to take into account. First of all, is the music good? So we're going to pay attention to the music and see if this is good, one of the criteria. Another one, is the person a good performer? So this is also very important. The mechanics that he or she, in this case he, uses when he's going to sing. I want you to pay attention to that, and then give me your own personal opinion. Here is the beauty of art. You could be wrong, and you're still right. because that's the way you see things. And so we want to pay attention to everything that the singer is going to do here. And I need to give you a little piece of information, and I need to keep also track of my time, so we'll be done on time, and then open the space for some questions that you may have. The singer selected one of the greatest arias from the opera repertoire. Briefly, aria is what we know generally as a song, but Italians use the term aria because the singers use air to sing, and therefore it's called an aria. You never would say, "Oh, I love the songs at the opera." No, you love the arias that they were sung at the opera. We have more people coming in. Thank you and welcome. Just grab a seat, and we're getting started. Pol Pot, which is the person that we'll listen to talk, he selected one of the most sacred arias ever written by any opera composers. The composer, Italian composer Giacomo Puccini. This is information that is important for our judges because they need to know what is it that they're going to be listening, so it will not be a cold, like, boom, now judge, like, what am I supposed to do here? So the aria, one of the greatest aria in the opera repertoire, it's called Nessun Dorma. Nessun Dorma in Italian means nobody goes to sleep. And so the singer, in that particular aria from the opera Turandot, is actually a tenor. That is the hero of the opera. And he's singing Nessun Dorma to the townsters. He says nobody goes to sleep because his job that evening, early in the morning, is to rescue the princess, La Principessa. And so he's going to rescue this most beautiful woman, and then he's going to marry this woman. Here, unfortunately, and I don't have the time because we only have half hour for this particular presentation, the aria is sung in Italian. But let me tell you this. He's just talking to the townsters, and he says, "Trust me, follow me, I'm going to rescue the Principessa, and then I'm going to give her a kiss, and we're going to get married." But at the end, at the very end, he sings the most iconic words when he says, "Vincerò, vincerò, vincerò," which means we will win. And this is just a phenomenal moment in the aria, in the opera. Anytime that we play this opera, Turandot by Giacomo Puccini, every time, that's a showstopper. In general, the singer, and providing that the singer is good, and usually they get 10 minutes standing ovation. It could go as long as half an hour, as in the case of Pavarotti when he sang that in Paris. It was half an hour, people clapping when he sang Nessun Dorma. So that's the excerpt that we're going to listen. Interesting enough, at that competition, my judges and my audience here, at that competition, it was odd to have an opera, somebody singing opera. In general, for this type of contest, they have popular music. But, decided to select this most wonderful aria. Let's just listen to it. He will introduce himself. This is the audition. And the judges will talk at the end, but we'll stop before they say anything. We'll listen to what you have to say. It could be something so simple like, well, this or that, blah, 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 and then perhaps some of you may have something to say. This is pretty much what we do in the music appreciation class. Music appreciation class actually teaches the students to recognize the nuances of music because that's my life. And so that's what I told you at the beginning. I'm not a music teacher. I'm a music man. Because for me, it's important that my audience knows what music is. Because when I go and play, people don't know anything about music, and they just clap, and they don't know what they're clapping. But with this class, I have the greatest gift to be able to teach my audience and our audiences of the future with music. Music that is so special. Classical music that we have a tendency to dismiss it because, you know what? I don't understand the music. It's old music. No. Register for the class and I have more secrets to unveil. But let's get going and let's go to Internet Explorer. I have Adam here who's helping me. He's my assistant. We go to Internet Explorer and then maximize the screen. And we'll listen.
For the next contestant, the world of showbiz seems a million miles away.
It's Paul, a mobile phone salesman from South Wales.
By day, I sell mobile phones. My dream is to spend my life doing what I feel that I was born to do.
Paul, what are you here for today, Paul?
To sing opera. I've always wanted to sing as a career. Confidence has always been sort of like a difficult thing for me. I've always found it a little bit difficult to be completely confident in myself.
Okay. Ready?
What he did, now that we're about ready to play the excerpt, instead of playing the whole aria, he actually had a reduction, so he kept the most important things from that aria. So the things that you will not hear, ideally, if I had an hour, then I'll play you the complete version with Pavarotti, in which he get 35 minutes of clapping, standing ovation. But let's get down to the core of this, and let's talk about music. That's the whole point right here. You came into my lecture, and I want you to talk about music. Say whatever you want to say, but let's pay attention. Pay attention to the piece of music that I already described. Pay attention to the mechanics, and perhaps, do we have a singer in the house? Somebody has been, there you go. Anybody that has been basically trained, anybody has sung in a choir? Here, my judges, no? Okay, yes? Oh, great. Great. We have a lot of people that know. There you go, fantastic. We have a lot of people that know a little bit about voice, and then we'll be able to see mechanics, performance, the piece, staging, and also something that you know a lot, emotions. I'm not going to tell you anything. At the end, I'll tell you what I think, but let's listen to this fantastic clip. Go ahead, Adam. Very short and to the point excerpt. We will listen to the aria, and now we're going to judge. Of course, they have something to say. We'll listen to that later. But let's first listen to our judges and see how they reacted to this. This is music that perhaps you're not familiar with, and all of a sudden this is the first time that you listen to something like this, and perhaps you have something to say. Adam, what do you think? Your first thing, and keep in mind, because it's very important, all of a sudden you're put on the spot. They say, hey, I didn't come here for that. I just wanted to listen. But with art, we can afford ourselves to say whatever we want because it's art. And whatever you think, you could actually very well say, I actually did not like this. This is not my type of music. But tell me why. Why, even if it's something minute, and I guarantee you, you are probably right. Adam, what do you think?
I liked it. He seemed to be like pretty emotionally into the whole thing, and he was pretty on point with the pitches and whatnot, and yeah.
This is actually a very good comment, very musical, by the way, and I wasn't expecting that, so bravo, bravissimo. Annette. Yeah, here, my precious. There you go.
Thank you.
Whatever you think.
I think the thing that struck me the most was his vocal control with the pitching. Like, he went up and down, and he controlled his vocal control, and he was very passionate, which was, I could tell he was really into the song.
This is actually a very good comment as well. Geraldine, if you please tell me, what do you think? Okay, they've been talking about the emotional aspect of it, and then what do you think?
Well, his voice kind of gave me goosebumps.
It did.
Yeah, every time he hit those pitches, I would get goosebumps because of how good. I don't know why, but it just happens, and it's every time he hits those pitches.
Let me ask you a question. Does he have anything that has to do with the little explanation that I told you about the piece and all that, or was just the way that you reacted when you listened to it?
Well, it was just the way I reacted, but I think it also has to do with the way he's using his voice. I think he's probably doing something that's making us like react like that.
Outstanding. Bill, what do you think?
I agree. Gives goosebumps. I think his emotions that he brings, he's obviously got raw talent. His stage presence is, you could tell he's shy, timid, but boy, once he starts with his vocals, it's incredible what he brings, and I think that's what also drives it. There's no ego. He has no ego. He's not a rock star.
This is actually a fantastic comment. You were able to pick up on the nuance of the fact that, well, I can see that he's a little shy, and then he went on and did what he had to do. Anybody hears anything to say? Yeah, great.
Like towards the end, he was holding a lot of the whole notes out. I liked how he used vibrato sword, so the note's not like stationary the entire time. He like moves his voice around.
Okay, so.
And, like when it gets higher, he's like falsetto.
So that's a very good musical comment. He's just holding. I mean, he's talking about holding, and then he went into falsetto and this and that. So this is good, and he's picking up some of those nuances, musical nuances. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes. Then let me go around. Yes.
You can also tell how he sort of no.
Okay.
You can sort of tell how he also interacts with the song that he's playing. So that like if you see how he pauses, he's actually about to cry because he emotionally interacts with the song that he's playing.
So he's emotionally engaged in the piece. I mean, very good. The story of the piece. Yes, my dear. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry? Uh-huh. Oh, you
he is emotionally attached to the piece, and it's all because like he's shy, he has that confidence problem, and he sang a song about winning. So he's like driven with this song, like we will win, and at the end he won. So he like set himself up for success since the beginning.
That's a very good comment as well. Anybody else? Yes, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to make his physical presence transparent, and that allowed his vocals to be seen.
Very good. Now we get to see. So far, well, we talked about mechanical stuff. Some of you said, nice vibrato and nice voice and very emotionally engaged and all that. And then, Tia, you want to say something else? Very emotional. Very good posture. That's very important for singing.
Really good breath control.
Breath control. Wow, now he's getting mechanical on this one and very technical. Very good. Anybody else? Yes, and then one more comment. Yes, my dear. His crescendos towards the end. Okay, so look, we had a whole bunch of comments. Is this somebody now here we can vote? Is this somebody that is worth winning this even though that we know that he won, but is this somebody that is worth winning this competition? Let me see hands here, my audience. If you don't think it's worth winning, actually, let me just do it that way. If you do not think it's worth winning this competition, raise your hand. And don't be shy. Then you say, no, if I raise my hand, then I'm going to have to explain why. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, you say, no. I'm curious now. Let's see why not. Yes.
The reason I don't think he should win is because Britain's Got Talent, American Idol, and America's Got Talent, The X Factor, those are all popular shows for popular mediums of entertainment, such as pop music and music that is in style to the youth, as the target audience for these type of shows are typically teenagers and young adults.
Very good comment. So now he's saying, listen, that music don't belong here. That belongs somewhere else. I mean, he might be good somewhere else, but not here. This is not for him. I mean, he didn't say it that way, but in some, that's pretty much what he was saying. Now, let's listen to the judges. Mr. Gomez hasn't said anything yet, I'm reserving my comment at the end. But then again, first of all, because of course, we're running out of time, everybody is right on target. It's just that remember that I lived in the world of music. So my opinion is going to be a little different than yours. Let's listen to the judges.
So you work at Carphone Warehouse, and you did that. I wasn't expecting that.
No, neither was I.
This was a complete breath of fresh air. I thought you were absolutely fantastic.
You have an incredible voice. I think if you keep singing like that, you are going to be one of the favourites to win this whole competition.
I think that we've got a case of a little lump of coal here that is going to turn into a diamond.
Okay, moment of truth, young man. Here's.
Absolutely yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Paul? You are through to the next round.
Believe it. He wins. Moment of truth. So, with great respect, to everything that you have said, I have great respect for you because this is your opinion and your opinion, like the opinion of all my students. The class that I teach, music appreciation, I think that the fact that I show so much respect for whatever my students say is what's made the class so popular. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. And I don't intend, when you take music appreciation class, to change your taste. What my goal is to educate you so your level will go higher, and on top of that, so then you know exactly why is it that you like the music that you like. And I believe that that's been the key element, that when the students write their evaluations and I read them a month later, it never stops to touch me. Before I tell you my opinion in just a moment, we taught a class on the mini fall semester that meets for 11 days. And in 11 days, I had to cover 17 weeks. And I saw that class was going to be the hardest one to teach because then you had to cram stuff into people for 11 days, 4 or 5 hours of class. So we did it. It was quite highly successful. And then students wrote their evaluation. I was saying, oh, boy, this is not going to be good. This is going to be rough because I had to really go really fast. Well, there was one comment that I will never forget. I will never be, it'll stay with me for the rest of my life. Just like many of the comments that students make. And so the student wrote simply, something so simple. Thank you, Mr. Gomez, for changing my life. So you're reading all those evaluations, all those good things that say, Mr. Gomez, blah, 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 Mr. Gomez, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you read something that says, thank you for changing my life. What did I do? I had no idea. But what? I was doing my job. That's what I get paid for, to share my musical life with my students. But one student did say, thank you for changing my life. So whatever I gave that student, it must have been very important, and that's exactly what I tried to do, in giving them something that they can take with them, not just a grade, but something tangible that they can take with them at the end of the semester. Now, my opinion, and as we get in here to the last, and then we might have one question or two, my opinion is this. I absolutely agree with you. The emotion and the investment into the piece that he puts into it is fantastic. Now, on that alone, as he says, he would not want for me. Not at all. I believe that technically he has many faults. He doesn't have breath control. He doesn't have a good intonation. He has problems holding notes. His vibrato is very nervous. And then when he gets to the moment of truth with his vincero, vincero, actually, do me a favor, Adam. We still have time. Look for Pavarotti in Paris. house probably will agree with me. And this I learned in a very interesting way. Breathing is a very important thing. And I thought all along that I knew how to breathe until I went to a breathing class. And the coach told me that in order to breathe, because nobody here knows how to breathe, but I don't have time to show you that nobody knows how to breathe. And so you have to breathe from here. And so you need to, instead of doing, which we always do, inhale, exhale, we have to do. And so, of course, when they taught me that, I said, so that means I have to work like this changed my life because you don't know how to breathe. And so this is very important. Very funny, yes, but I mean, for a moment I said, oh my God, I don't know how to breathe. So you want to see somebody that knows how to breathe? Go and see a newborn baby. Then you'll see that. And that's exactly what they do. They use their diaphragm to really get out the air and then push those notes out with so much power that Pavarotti does. Let me open the floor a couple of minutes for any question, and then, of course, to thank my judges. Thank you so much for, it takes a lot of guts to be a judge, but for one or two questions, quick questions anybody may have regarding FIU, regarding the music class, regarding some of the programs that we have. Anybody has any questions? Well, my beautiful, yes. Oh my God, we have that. We have a music business program that is fantastic. Matter of fact, the person that's in charge of that program was actually in charge of the Disney University, and now that program doesn't exist, but the experience and everything dealing with business of music, which is actually, I believe, the best thing to do in music now. We have so many great performers, but we need more managers of music, people that know the law, that can make good money, putting shows together. So I will advise you to go and talk to Karen Fuller. She's a fantastic person that will advise you. Or Jerry Suarez, which is one of those advisors. Fantastic field to go into, especially field of the 21st century. It uses everything. So that's a very good question. Anybody else, please? Yes? Music business. Yeah, that is a major now. It didn't used to be school. It's actually the School of Music, but it's actually part of the College of Architecture and the Arts. And it's a great field to go into. It's just perfect for the 21st century because it uses technology and all the knowledge of law and technology and stuff like that. All right, anybody else has a quick question? Thank you so much for sharing with me 20 minutes, 30 minutes of my time, and I share it with you. Thank you, and hope to see you very soon at FIU. Register for Music Club.